All right, hello, guys. This is going to be a really quick one. We're going to be doing a quick show of Kern's Tower. Kern's Tower is not very um, big. It's not like a complicated big deal, so this is going to be pretty quick. But I still think it's useful for people that aren't as familiar with the game. So this is going to be, if you're an old school player, you probably don't even need to see this one, of course. Versus some that you might have missed, like you might not have been to Tower Frozen Shadow. Okay, starting from the Soul Binder, you're going to be running out here, and I'm just going to keep my user interface hidden because it's not even going to be necessary in this. This is not meant to be a long thing. You're going to want to go over to the Cabalist Stone. This is a Canarch zone. It's basically the starter dungeon. Oh, there's my crappy UI. I've been trying to update it and make it look better for people that complain. But what hap- It's a work in progress because part of that has been I've been trying to upgrade the video mode and get it all squared away. And every time I do that, with the UI, everything gets reset. I have to move windows all around. So basically, I've been replacing windows, putting things back and forth. So this looks like garbage. I mean, this actually does, to me even, and it's just because there's things popping up and like that. Look at how gigantic the friggin' target window is. Stupid things like that. So we're gonna mainly keep my junk hidden because it's not necessary for this video. This is not gonna be like, oh, and look at how hard it is, because Kern's Tower is it's a great place to go if you're fresh out of the tutorial in EverQuest. I don't know Crescent Reach very well. I know a lot of people go to Crescent Reach and do the Hero's Journey quests, which you can summon a tome of Hero's Journey. I'm not very familiar with that. All right, I'm more old school. I prefer to do it the way I do it. Um, and to people that like the Crescent Reach zones, oh wow, I'm invisible. That's great. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. Whoa, look at this. Awesome. Look at this. Wow. Oh my god, my computer sucks. Look at this. Oh my god. Oh, it's so bad. What in the world is going on here? Oh god. Wow. Wow. Everything is messed up. That's hilarious. What? 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 Okay. Hitting F10 fixed. That is hilarious. This is the pit and Field of Bone. And basically, if you head right up, where I was the POK book. If you head up that way, you're gonna see the guard room is up there. He doesn't normally. I don't think I've never seen the guard come this far down the path, so you're safe. But new players, new XRs on like a progression server or anything, are gonna want to come. This is one of the first areas you're gonna fight and find groups at, like on a progression server. It'll be called it's just a pit group, and pit groups can be at any spot, but this right here would be the main camp for a pit group. And then like XRs usually are like you're usually gonna have lots of necros and shamans, but you'll find the occasional warrior, and of course monks are great. And they'll usually find a mob here that's like at a decent level range for them, and you can pick and choose which ones you want to a point. The marauders are very deadly, and it's these guys here, the bandits. That those are like the one thing that will aggro you and really get you. Because the marauders are like, I don't know, I thought they were like level 20. I mean, like seriously, it's one of they're kind of like roving death mobs if you're low level. Basically, if you're low level and you're leveling here, you're going to be moving down the line because usually, obviously, closer to the beginning there, they're usually a little bit lower level for you, and that's like you start killing in here in the pit at like I don't know, I forget like 5 or 6, something like roughly, and you start to work your way down. Most people, some people aren't cost to these Burinai, and some people purposely won't kill the Burinai. I think on live EverQuest, I've been finding a lot of my characters are just starting out cost to Burinai, which was not, absolutely was not the way it used to be in this game. So I don't know exactly if that changed for everybody or if factions got messed up with Crescent Reach becoming hometowns. I don't know. But a lot of people don't want the Burinai to be cost to them. It might seem weird to you, The reason is because when we go into Kern's Tower, when we go into the basement, if you want to fight just the undead and not have to worry about all these horrible Burunai adding to you, then you don't want to lose your faction with them. And obviously, once you're high level, it no longer matters. But it's worth saying, it just as a heads up, hey, if you're not cost to these Burunai, you might not want to make yourself cost to the Burunai. It just can be helpful. So of course, here is Kern's Tower. I guess I have a thing for towers. I just like towers. I like towers. It's so cool. I want to see where's the moon. Remember how I said this is gonna be like really fast? I'm looking for the moon. Oh, I'm awesome. I'm like, hey guys, yeah, it's cool. We're gonna make a really fast video here. I'm gonna go look at the moon. Where's the moon at? It's bothering me. There's like literally no moon in the sky. Like, look at this. What is this? No moon? Is that serious? Like, there's just no moon? Okay, okay. You want to be careful when you hit the back end here. Um, he's not super high like the Marauders are. The XR Marauders, they're death mobs. But these usually are a higher level. I'm not saying you can't get away from them. I'm just saying that when you're heading up here, you might something like this. Kern's Tower starts around level 9, 10. I mean, 9 it's going to be kind of tough depending on what server you're playing on, how your gear is, and you know what I mean. Like if you have Defiant gear, I'm sure level 9 is not going to be a problem for you. And if you're using a mercenary, not even going to be a problem for you. Here's the entrance. You can go left or right. Both ways will zone you rather quickly. And we are entering Kurns Tower. So, hey, if you want to try this on your own, see if your computer sucks or EverQuest sucks enough that if you zone while in F10, which F10 hides your interface. This is just for people that don't know. When you hit F10, function 10, your interface will disappear and you can just get a really good screenshot. So maybe you should also try zoning and seeing if it glitches out your graphics like mine, because that was pretty cool actually. I've never seen that before. Well, no, I shouldn't say I've never seen that before. It was a bit of a surprise. When you zone in here, and I'm gonna do that just because in case bug graphics are messed up. The zone out, of course, is right here. I mean, you can zone out from both sides. There is one roaming skeleton. There he is. Yes, that's him. He will roam to this side, and I believe over this side. So you might get attacked by a roaming skeleton, and it's not always a scale bone like that. This scale bone is level 7. So theoretically, you can come in here earlier, but see, he's level 7 and he's level 11. So there's a nice level, like there's a big level gap, I should say. So sometimes you're in here and you're like, I don't want to fight this one. Now this doesn't affect people on live servers as much because we're more powerful. If you're playing on a progression server, trust me, if you're playing on EverQuest Project 1999, when you come into Kern's Tower, you're going to be in here like that level, like you versus the level 7 versus the level 11. It's much harder. Trust me. The gap of hardness on like Project 1999 is it's much harder for you, versus playing on a live server in which you just kind of plow through everything. Um, so that's just a heads up there. This is going to be the first camp, okay? People that are just starting out and don't know the zone camp here. These mobs have a very low aggro radius, okay? I'm going to slowly inch my way over here and show you how low the aggro radius is because it really is that low. Normally, right there, that is within aggro range of a normal mob. Generally speaking, a normal mob is going to see you. This is one of the main reasons I really, really, really like Kern's Tower. The aggro radius is small as crap. And it's because they tried to work it in or something and say that like here, we're going to inch closer. They tried to say that okay, that I'm so shocked that he aggroed. I swear their aggro radius is like 0. But they tried to work it into the game saying, oh well, there's something with the undead. They're like they're dude, I don't like a sorry excuse, but I think the reality is they messed up. Okay, I don't think the aggro radius was meant to be quite as small as it was. In fact, they might have fixed it a little bit because I remember the aggro radius being so small that I could literally be right here and he would never hit you. Okay? I'm not making this up. You could be right there and that skeleton wouldn't do anything. They were blind. Now, that's not true on EverQuest. In Project 1999, of course, it's different. The aggro radiuses are a bit bigger, I think. Not super huge, but definitely bigger than, like, I believe even this. They're not the same. This first area is going to be where you're going to be pulling from. These doors, there's one there. There's one over here. We got a door over here, and it branches around in the back there. And there's I thought there was another door, but there might not be. Okay, there's only the one door. They're basically useless. Nothing is important. There's just mobs. There's more mobs. If you need more mobs, you can go get mobs if they're the right, okay, worthwhile level range. Occasionally you'll find a named in here, but it's not. It's actually for quest. So the undead tower guard. All right, he's for a quest. Okay, and it's useless, and I'll tell you why in a minute. We'll get there. So let's just say you started playing, you killed these guys, you're good. You're gonna start moving up. Fine, no problem. Let's start moving up. You're gonna move up the tower here. That would be your next logical step, and you're gonna start to see the harder skeletons. Greater scale bones are much harder, and then the hardest skeletons are like iced or charred. I think they're iced or charred. And right here is where you're gonna find names on live servers that have the new names. These are names that didn't used to exist in EverQuest that they added later. They did that in Unrest and a bunch of other zones. It's called the Observant Skeleton. It's basically this guy here, but that's his placeholder. That's not actually him. Duh. He's gonna roam over here, and then he'll occasionally. It might be this guy as well, but it is one of them, and that's most likely the placeholder for the Observant Skeleton. I'm just letting you know. Kind of drops kind of useless crap. Drops silk arms, and he drops a mask. It's not good. It's not good at all. But he drops it. Maybe you want to see it. So he roams here, and you can you can fight him here. I've never been attacked here personally, and I skipped something, but we'll get back to it. Personally, on I think on EverQuest live servers. I don't get attacked here. The skeleton roams to right here and stops. It just stops. So when I sit in camp here, I haven't been attacked. I believe on Project 1999, I might have gotten attacked once. Like I can't claim that I've never been attacked here on a server, but generally speaking, this is a really relatively safe location to camp and pull to. Heading on up, this guy right here that roams. He goes all the way up here as well. Oh, no, it's this one. I'm sorry. This one is the one. He comes down to here, and then he roams all the way back up to here. That, right there, that's the placeholder for the Undead Crusader. Quest mob, I believe he drops the Iskar Skull with an X, I believe. I might be wrong. And I believe it's a Shaman quest. So if you're looking for the Undead Crusader, there you go. All right, we're going to head on up some more. And this is the main, I forget, this is like the top of the tower, and this would be like one of the main grouping areas. These guys roam, that guy roams, he's probably the main roamer. So you can sit here, but he will eventually find you and aggro you, because he's going to be roaming around and stuff. People that group, in my days, we would group up here, because this is a decent spot to group and pull to. This over here, is fun. There's actually a little bit of space back here, and then there's a little bit of space back there, and you can kind of walk around. But you have to get yourself. I've gotten myself back there before. Just as a little tidbit to you guys, I have totally snuck back there. I don't know what I did to gimp through the wall, but I did, and it's just hilarious whenever you do things in EverQuest like that, like gimp through rocks and stuff. You can get back there. I've done it. They might have patched it out. I'm not saying that. Hey, they might have fixed it, okay? But before, I've gotten back there before. There's nothing. It's just funny. I just love it. It's like, I know you never intended me to do this, but look what I did. It's great. Love it. This is thick-tailed skeleton. It should be. I'm guessing again, but I believe it's monk quest. The odd mole here. This odd mole is like a level 20, 22 or something mob. It's the highest mob in this zone, and he is for a quest as well. I'm drawing a blank. You can look these up, or you probably already looking for them. Hey, if you're checking this guide out, you might want to know where it is, but you already know what you're looking for because you're looking at the quest on Alakazam, right? So it's all right if I don't know everything. Um, but I do know something that's going to blow your mind. Well, maybe not blow your mind, but it's cool. All right, this is cool. Right here, that's where the undead cook spawns. Okay, that's basically a multi-spawn name, multiple names spawn. So the undead cook can spawn here. Now, back around Plains of Power era, I'm a level 65 necromancer. I'm also like a level 59 cleric or whatever I was at the time, which I play necros and clerics, but regardless, I'm a level 65 necromancer. I am intrigued by this, okay? The undead cook tells you a thing about being hungry and thirsty or something. He doesn't have his. There's like a little rhyme. You have to look it up. He says about not having his not he can't taste what he's getting or something. Blah blah. And you find out that you go to Alakazam because you're like, what's this? What's this quest? Right? What's this undead cook telling me? What's going on? So you look up this quest and you find out that nobody knows. Okay, it's the Corpse of Mergen Dower quest. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Where you kill the undead jester in the basement. Okay, and he drops a hollow skull, and there's a combine button. So we all know. Okay, well hey, there's a quest here that you got to find items, put them in, and probably hand them into the cook. I mean, we basically figured out the basics of the quest, right? Nobody knew how to. Nobody. There was no solution. Everybody on there was saying there's no solution. If you check Alakazam right now, you'll probably see a post saved for all time in Kurns Tower on like somewhere under the quest that I was posting. I'm a level 65 necromancer. I have no business being in a level 10 through. You can level in this zone from level 14, 15 is when it's really not even worth being here anymore. Some people even say earlier you can push it to 17 or 18 if you really wanted to stay in this zone. My point is, I'm level 65. I have no business being here. Except hey, I'm a necromancer, so I'm collecting bone chips. It's not all bad. Hey, I'm getting bone chips, right? You get bone chips galore here, of course. These skeletons are like, here, have 4. Here, like bone chips like crazy. But I have no business. I'm wasting my time, right? I'm wasting my time now, but I'm wasting my time. So I'm in here like, I'm going to solve this quest. And partly because of me, I'm not kidding. Probably not just me, of course, but I was one of those people with the very, very loud voice saying, "What's up with this quest? Why isn't it work? I've spent hours. I devoted time to it. I came in here. I was like, how? I tried all kinds of crazy things. Okay, I wanted to solve this quest because it's not like there's no way of solving it. There's got to be a way, right? No, it was unfinished. Wasting my time. But guess what? There was a patch a while later where it said, and something hinting at the quest. And I was like, oh, they finished the quest. Oh my god. So, it wasn't finished. But it was now. And it's not worth doing. And there's 2 reasons why. I'm going to explain this really quick. The quest is, you kill the undead jester, you get the hollow skull, you collect the items. One of the items has to be fished from Cabalus. It's a unique type of fish, actually, just for the quest. There's a few other quest items that you need that drop from some of the named skeletons in here, right? You put them all in, you combine them, and I think there was one you had to like cook or something. I can't remember it off the top of my head. You cook, you combine them, right? You hand it into the undead cook when you have to spawn him, but you hand him in the undead cook. He gives you a necklace. It's not a great necklace. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen for a person if they want to collect it like early on in the game without Defiant. If Defiant gear doesn't exist, and you're gonna, this necklace might be worth it to you. Okay, but it does have it has a focus effect, and I can't remember what it was. It's spell related, of course, and it's It's like something something one, and I think it's like damage over time bonus, I believe, but I might be wrong. But the bottom line is, when you combine the stuff to get the hand in, it turns your hollow skull into a tiny skull. Okay, you hand the tiny skull in to the undead cook. He gives you the necklace, and then he like falls to the ground for like 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't know. He despawns and instantly respawns, but it could be the thick-tailed skeleton, or there might be another one that I think the fingered skeleton might spawn here. I'm not sure. I know he spawns in the basement, but he might spawn there. I think there might be multiple PHs as well here, but he just respawns, so you might get a different one. But that's it. Well, here's what I'm saying. Here's where they messed up. I love this. I mean, I hate this, but I love this. Remember, if you ever watched my videos before so far, I'm going to point out everything that's wrong in EverQuest that literally is wrong, okay? It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. And this is going to make this long video, and I'm sorry, but you need to hear this, okay? They put this tiny skull, that's the hand in, right? It's a no rent tiny skull. It's temporary. So don't log out. If you're working on this quest and you get that tiny skull, you wait until you get that undead cook. If you want the quest done, wait. Get the quest done, because once you log out, you're going to lose that skull. But regardless of that, that tiny skull, that no rent tiny skull, it also just drops. Yeah, you heard me. You heard me. It drops. The higher level skeletons in this zone, which are like the ice something bone skeletons and the charred skeletons, they'll drop the tiny skulls, the no rent tiny skulls for the hand in. They just drop it. They just drop it. Or you could go all the way downstairs, keep wandering around and killing the undead jester, and you have to kill him. And yeah, I mean you have to keep killing his placeholder until he spawns, which can take a while. He'll drop the hollow skull that you need, and then you can go around getting all the quest items. You could probably work on that while you're working on the jester, but I'm just saying. And then spend like, I don't know, what, an hour and a half, 2 hours working on a quest, maybe longer. Or you could just go find one of the charred or ice skeletons and kill a couple of them until they drop the tiny skull, which is the final hand in you need. That's it. What were they thinking? What were they thinking? They weren't thinking at all. They were thinking, you know what the only thing I can think of is they must have realized, they must have said, wow, people are going to be like, this isn't worth it. So maybe we'll be like, for the people that really want to complete the quest, we'll have this done. And then for people that just want to get it done fast, we'll just make it drop. But it doesn't make sense, okay? Regardless of regardless, and I'm going to stop here, but look, there's no reason for the tiny skull to be part of a quest, and a quest that involves combining items and fishing up items and all kinds of crap, and then it just drops. It just drops instead. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Was I born yesterday? No. All right, we're going to actually get back to the video. I'm sorry, I needed to say that. You can head back this way if you want to. This is just going to loop around. I'm just going to show you. There's a couple rooms over here. It's all nonsense, but this is going to loop around to the other path that we didn't go up earlier. This one's going to... I don't want to confuse you yet. This one's going to lead down to the other side. Okay? We came up this side, and this just goes up the other side. And comes up... It basically... Consider this your back door. So consider this your back door to the tower area. I don't consider this the front way. I mean, that would be the back way. It's very mob infested. When you head up, you can go this way instead, which is going to take us towards another named. Now remember, this is where we were coming up from the other side. Okay, just to give you an idea of the layout. You're going to come up this way. There's a named up here, and we'll see if he's up or not. I don't remember. It's Shattered Skeleton. That should not be up here. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. The Burying Eye shouldn't be up here. So, congratulations, we found something that shouldn't even be in that location. One of these skeletons that roams in this hall is called a shattered skeleton. It drops melee type. There's probably at least two drops that he drops, and I can't remember. I think it's arms or something. Again, not good if you have Defiant gear if it exists on your server. This was an added named again. This is one of the name. This is added later. This is not an original name. Not to say that there aren't original named in Everquest, but I mean in Kurns, but that's an added one. Now, what bothers me is, do you see where these mobs are placed? Like, there's one that roams here that's a named, and then there's one that roams down there that's a named. What's about? See this room right here? You see this spawn right here, and how it's like at a table? What are these developers thinking? I mean, what are they thinking? Look, call me crazy, but that should be a named spawn point right there. For some reason, I keep popping in my mind the undead commander. I don't know. It just feels right to me. It could be anything else, but I just picture a named spawn right there called the undead commander. Not always up. Maybe it has a placeholder, whatever. That's fine. But if you're, I feel like they have people that are just like, oh, we need some named mobs in here to make it better. I'll throw one over here. I'll throw one over here. What about the rooms? Every single one of these rooms up here are there's just tiny rooms. There's no point in going further about it, but there's tiny rooms. There's some mobs in there to kill. All right, end of story. We're done. But I just wanted to say, like, let's have that be a named mob. Let's hire somebody that knows what they're doing. That's willing to think about it. If you need a shortcut, things are getting bad. You're like, oh my god, I'm dying. You can jump down here, and you're gonna really be able to escape fast. All right, you got the quickest escape route in the world here. Don't get to the point where you're walking, okay? But you can run down here and be like, oh my god, and you can run over here and be like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. Oh my god, and here's the exit. Easy peasy. So you have a really good way of running and getting out if you ever have to run away. So anyways, that was upstairs. We're now in the center now area. I forgot to show you this earlier. This is why I was hitting my head earlier. This is the safe room right here. Whoop. It's an invisible room. There's like a torch. There's a that right there, by the way, is and that one. Those are retaining or load bearing. Those are load bearing. So we actually had to leave those in. The developers were talking about it. They weren't sure. They didn't like it. That they had to have that there, and they had to have that. I mean, it's just sticking out there. It's like they have no business being there. But I mean, if they weren't there, this whole tower would just come crashing down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's important. Those pillars had to be there. So it's just one of those little sad things. If you want to, you can kind of like sneak around them and like chill back here. But I mean, hey, someone's gonna see you. But you're completely safe in this room. This is just the strangest little safe room. It makes no sense. Now, just as a little heads up, you can pull to this room. If you're using a mercenary, you can set yourself as puller by right-clicking your name, going to roles, and saying puller. That makes your that'll make my merc stay there until I pull a mob. It's a little awkward because, unfortunately, the mobs kind of get a little slow up here at this invisible wall. So what's going to keep happening is you're going to have to keep making yourself not puller and then puller again because your warrior or whatever, your tank, is going to keep getting pushed out here. It's just going to happen. He's going to run out here and start fighting out here. And if he does, just as a heads up, if you're trying to utilize this room, it's very awkward because your tank keeps on running to like here-ish, and then see all these things. All these things can start roaming up here, and even for a player that doesn't completely suck with Defiant gear and all that stuff going on, if you're using an apprentice merc, you're probably gonna get overwhelmed. Just as a heads up, just because it can happen. But if you want to AFK somewhere, you can sit in here and just sit all the live long day. You'll be fine. This is gonna be the path to the basement. Gonna head on down here. The basement is the most not used location in this zone because you start to see Bury Nye. That's it. And this is because here's a Bury Nye right here. The reason you don't want to be in here is simply because the Bury Nye, they heal each other, all right, and they heal each other whether or not they're in combat. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be fighting this one, and then there's going to be one on the other side of the wall. I mean, he's probably safe where he's at, but there's going to be one through the floor, like through the wall, and it's going to be casting heals, and yes, they're the necro heals, but it doesn't matter because if an NPC is not technically in combat and they're casting their Necro Heal, which does damage to them, it's not going to matter because they're in like rest mode. They're not in combat. It's not taking mana from them. It's not taking health away. It is for like a second, but that's it. I mean, they like instantly regenerate it. So you're basically, and I hate this in game in EverQuest. Oh man, when you're fighting and you're trying to level up, and you got healing mobs. I mean, healing mobs suck, but they harm touch, they heal. There are different ones, but just a generalization. Burying Eye, harm touch, heal, fear. Yes, fear, and then you're gonna run and go find some more mobs. That's not good. They also dot you. They will snare you. Basically, every nasty spell that you could get, except charm. They don't do that. They don't charm you, but they do all these nasty spells. So this is why Burying Eye suck, and they actually ruin the basement. They ruin it. I mean, I'm not saying you can't group in the basement. I'm not saying you can't kill there. I'm not saying you can't get good EXP, but it's gonna, even if you have like a 3-box group, say you're boxing 3 characters and you're moloing, and moloing is the term for, it sounds weird to say molo. All right. When you're doing that, say you have a tank merc, you have a healer merc, you have a rogue merc or whatever, and you have the 3 characters, and you're gonna AFK in the basement. Well, guess what? If you get unlucky, you might all wind up dead, simply because, like, you get feared. So you're gonna have one guy get feared and run over that way, and one guy's gonna get feared and run over that way, and one get feared and run over. So you have all 3 characters split up everywhere, right? And then the tank is like, I don't know where to go, and then you all just die. It's not good. So, bottom line, the only reason to come into the basement is if you're working on a quest, in my opinion, or you want to get the Undead Jester because he drops the Ixar Berserker Club, which is a club that procs Frenzy. I believe it does. It's basically like Yelp, and I believe it's Frenzy, but I could be wrong. Here's how you get to the Undead Jester. This is stables. It's the stables area, or is it the jail cell? I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. So here's the door. We came down the door. We're gonna actually do this. You can go other ways. This is not the only way that you can go, but this is the way that I go. Okay. I usually sneak around here. Now, you're gonna want to go this way, and when you see these stairs, those are the stairs if you went the right way. That's what they're called, actually. I'm going to write it right over here. It's going to say the stairs of you went the right way. You head down here. This is a safe spot. I know that sounds kind of unrealistic, but you can be somewhat safe right here, as in, like, I could probably sit here and come back 12 hours later and nothing hit me, okay? Serious. Mobs do roam up here, but they have a low aggro radius. And they do kind of roam over here, but I've never gotten aggro. As long as you're in a good spot, like, try to plan where you're at so you have maximize your distance, but not be like up there, up there. So just a heads up, that's a safe spot. There are names that spawn in. You have to head over this way to the jail cells or stables or whatever you want to call them. So they're right here. There's the charbone right there. That could drop the tiny skull. Over here is one of the named spawn locations. Probably not there, but right here. That's a named, I believe. And I believe it's like the fingered. It's like a fingered or a thick bone or something. I don't know. Or I might be totally off, and it might be one of the quest mobs to drop one of the items you need for the cook quest that we're talking about. This quest that we've been talking about. But regardless, note that there's names right there. The Undead Jester will spawn here. Okay. He will spawn right here, and then he roams, and then he roams. And he also might head into a room, so you might want to check just to see if because that might be him. If he would go into a room, he won't go deep into it. Oh, there he is. Or I might be way off, and he doesn't go into rooms. He's almost. That's probably going to be a fine steel. See, there's the hollowed skull and the two-handed sword. So this hollow skull has the 4 compartments. You combine 4 things into it. See, it's the skull of the Tower Cook. Like, we had all the ideas there. We knew it involved the cook. I will loot this just to show it to you for giggles. It's a little rhyme. With this always existed, by the way, even when we were trying to figure out the quest. Within the tower lies the corpse of Murgendower, a faithful servant of Kurn's deadly tower. He served Kurn and kept him very well fed. Now it is time to replace his head. His new head did glow once upon a time. Now there are no eyes, no tongue to taste the sweet crunchy flesh. And so the years flow. When all are back together, the magic will once again glow. It's like someone wanted to sort of make it rhyme. It's, like, I guess we'll add a rhyme here and there, haha. So this is the quest that blew my mind and well, frustrated me to no end, because I wanted to be the one. I wanted to solve that quest. So that's the undead jester. He spawns and he runs around here. He drops that club. He doesn't drop it every time. So you're gonna be in for a camp if you really want him, because he's not always up. Sometimes it's the fingered skeleton, I believe, or the thick boned skeleton, or thick skull, or whatever. So you're gonna have to be aware that it's not always the one you want. And I'm gonna apologize in advance for not having 100% complete information every time on that. Okay. So this is those steps that we came down earlier. One last thing I want to show you, and then we're done, is the basement. This all the way down to the bottom. That is, which is probably down this path and over here. There are other areas that you can fall down. This is the one that I'll usually use, just because I usually want to check to see if the jester's up. It's one of those things. I'm gonna go this way no matter what, just because I want to see if that jester's up. This is going to take you to the deepest and biggest depths of the dungeon, and also there's a zone out, and also there is an actual named Bargren, a named Burying Eye, who spawns down here. His drop is terrible. It's terrible. It's useless. But you might want it, I guess. And there's a fabled version up right now, as far as I know. I'm going to put the height filter on to help myself out. As you can see, this stuff kind of loops around, and there's water areas and whatnot, but there's nothing that you have to jump into. There's nothing that's really, really, really like, oh my god, you have to do that. There's the zone out right there. It's just, the reason I wanted to put the map on is because it can be so hard to figure out when you're actually looking at the zone out. It's actually right there. That's it. So we'll do that in a minute, but right there is going to zone you out. And it's going to take you from the basement to the main exit of the tower. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? Gotta love Everquest. I'm glad that there's a way out for people. Okay, I'm not trying to knock it. It's good that there's an escape route, but the problem is, and I'm going to be putting on the map a bit here because I can't give you once I see it. Oh, it's right here. So like I said, once I see it. I don't have levitate on. Whatever. This is going to take us to Bargren, if you see this area right here. And it's everything is really close together. It just kind of all looks the same. So you get my point where there's confusion. One of these spawns, and it's probably this one, but maybe this one. One of these spawns the name Burying Eye named Bargren, and obviously he's not up. It's got to be Bargren because it's like Bargryn or something like that. So that to me is Bargren, but whatever. He's one of these guys. They spawn here. Look at the pool. Name Burying Eye. If you're looking for him, there's a hunter achievement. So if you're looking for the hunter achievement, you're gonna have to go here to kill him. All right, gotcha. We're done. You can swim around, but there's no point because it'll just like loop around over here, I think, and it's completely unnecessary. We're gonna go out over this way. I think we said the exit was over here. Let's follow the dead corpses. Follow the dead corpses. Yeah, there it is. So it's not that hard to find, but how easy is it for you to identify a zone out when it looks like this in an area that just looks like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at that. Okay, watch. Zoning. It's the strangest thing ever. Like, that zone out, that's weird. I feel like we need an exit sign there. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little sign that says, like, the way out. I mean, we could make it a little role play, like, I mean, I know it's literally words that say the way out, but I don't know, like, you could make it even more realistic, have like the words scratched onto the wall saying like escape or something, and like, I don't know, maybe have like a skeleton laying there next to it. That'd be kind of funny. I like that. I like the way that feels, but like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing to signify this exit. It's just weird and bizarre. But that's it. We are done with Kurns Tower. I apologize. This video ran. Oh my God, it ran really long. I'm out. I'm out. I'm so sorry. But that's Kurns Tower. I can't believe I had that much to rant and rave about. I'm so bad, and I'm sorry. But hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about the quest, about the this Mergen Dower quest, which just drove me nuts as a high level necromancer trying to solve this quest. So, peace out and enjoy Kurns Tower. I love the zone. It's awesome.